Hey Virgo, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your beginning of January. I'm just saying ish instead of just the first week because I am starting a little bit, I feel like a little bit late. I did do a separate astrology read in a video. Hopefully you guys check that out. You get more information in that as far as the sky goes for this month. I contextualize everything in like 20 minutes length of information, and then I time stamped for each of the signs. So definitely check that out if you're interested in the astrology. But we're going to be doing money and relationships separately, starting with money first. Relationship will be time stamped. I'm just going to be working in the energies that are going on. I mean, right now we have Mercury and Pluto, you know, hanging out with the sun in that fifth house, Virgo. I have to tell you, I like it. I mean, the fifth house is good for romance and it's good for creativity, equally so. Any sort of entrepreneurial effort kind of things. Now, on the 8th, up to the 7th, but then on the 8th, Mercury is going to be dropping out of that 5th, transitioning over to the 6th house to hang out with Saturn and Jupiter. And even though we're not going to be able to see Saturn right now because he's gone invisible and will be invisible until around mid-February, doesn't mean he's not there. He's there. We just can't see him. So things aren't going to be fully crystallizing yet in that 6th house of any sort of goals for your health or any sort of work situations going on, but everything is being set up nonetheless. Now, Mercury and Pluto conjunct in that 5th house for this first week is so good for business, my friends. It really, really is. Beautiful business energy. Mercury is about communication and signing on the dotted line. Pluto is about transformation and change. Something ending so that something can be rebirthed or born or transitioned into. So really good. And with the sun pounding on there, that's where our focus is going to be. Now, there is going to be the square to Mars in Aries hanging out in there in the 8th house. The 8th house has to do with other people's money. It has to do with investments, our partner's money. It has to do with intimacy. It has to do with inheritance, insurance payouts, anything like that. Now, I want to tell you, the reason I'm sort of leading in with this is because what I'm describing to you here, these particular houses, Virgo, that you're going to be dealing with, you know, in a very strong, energetic way, really have to do with both relationship and money. So there can absolutely be this sort of, and because there's tension here with the 8th, is there tension in your romantic sector having to do with who contributes what to the relationship? Is there tension having to do with romance? Is there tension financially having to do with some sort of creative project that you want to get off the ground and you getting the financing or having what you need to back you in order to get it going? So it's just something to think about. Now, Venus in Sagittarius is in your 4th house until January 7th, then dips over into the 5th house in Capricorn starting on the 8th. But for this first week in Sagittarius in that 4th house, having it there, you know, in Sagittarius, it's like, what do you really want, need, and desire as far as to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure? In a physical home, you might be looking to do some renovations in a home, or is everybody showing up in a way that aligns with your moral code and your moral compass, having to do with your home and where you live and your environment? You know, or you just really asking yourself, how safe and secure do I feel in this whole thing anyway? You know, that kind of thing. It's very profound. Then to the 7th, and then it's going to be going on the 7th and on the 8th, it's going to be going into your 5th house of romance, Venus and Capricorn. So that's Capricorn's a worker energy. Doesn't love hanging out with Capricorn because Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, you know, and Venus just wants to be airy, fairy, fun, and fabulous, right? And Capricorn's like, do your work, follow the rules, you know. So there could be a little bit of tension, not going to lie, you know, in that 5th house of romance, of creativity. I actually love it though for the creativity part, as I feel like it's going to give you the wherewithal and the focus to be super creative if it has to do with any sort of entrepreneurial effort. Might be a little more challenging if it has to do with romance, but good for the money, honey. That's what we're all about this year, Virgo, right? This great conjunction happening in your 6th house. Has to do with your day-to-day work. There's lots of stuff going on in that work. Also your health, mental, physical, and emotional health. As I say though, right, because Jupiter's going to be hanging out in there for a year. We have to watch that we don't gain weight, right, in that over the course of this year, even though Virgos are very health conscious. The energies are such. All right. So listen, coming into this energy, there's some disappointment having to do with something financial. So this could have to do with your career. If your career is fine, it could have to do with something to do with your partner, some sort of family situation, an investment, anything like that. But there's this idea of loss and regret and just not feeling very well supported. Really not feeling very well supported. Feeling almost like an idea was abandoned that you were perhaps working on with somebody, and you feel very disappointed, very focused on it in the recent past, very focused on the 3 cups that are down and not focusing on the 2 cups that are still standing. So maybe something didn't roll out the way that you really wanted it to, the way that you saw in your mind's eye. But right now we have the Wheel of Fortune. It's all about taking a chance right now, a good energy, a turning point, taking a chance, and it going well. I have to tell you, the fact that it's not crossed, I feel like it's complimenting, because this is the cross of compliment. This is a compliment, the world. Right? The reason why it's so benefic is because it's like, job well done, Virgo. You made it through. You learned the lesson. And now it's time to get the beautiful Saturnian lessons that last a long time. So you have put in a lot of work in different areas, I feel like, of your life, working, trying different strategies, either to make money or different investments. This could also be just simply, if it's dealing with a lawsuit, trying different strategies, different approaches, and things maybe just being super challenging up to this point. But the world is the completion of a lesson. And from this lesson, you move on. And to have that with the Wheel of Fortune, a lesson has been completed, and now you're going to move on in another direction. There's a turning point here. You need to take a chance in something new. You need to take a chance, Virgo. It looks like it's very positively blessed, but you look scared, because the best that could be achieved in the circumstances right now is you being in a space of self-protection, maybe just kind of focusing on what you need. Let's pull one for these. Beautiful. The Fish. You have everything you need right now. You're doing what you're doing, right? As far as whatever it is that you're doing now, right? For money or whatever it is. You don't need to acquire any more skill sets. You may need to learn something differently or more deeply than where you're at right now. But the Fish really is about looking at what you have and making the best out of what you have right now in the moment, and understanding that what you're working with right now has the potential to bring you more. You understand? So it's not like an energy of lack where it's like, oh my God, you got to go back to school. You're going to have to go for a training program. You may have to learn something that you're involved in more deeply, differently, something like that. But you possess everything that you need to have right now that's really going to help you with whatever situation it is right now. The lawyer you hired is good. Your case is solid. Whatever you have is good, right? It's good. Then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is you being really concerned about your long-term security. And because of that concern, you're protecting yourself. You're watching yourself. You're watching your money. You're watching your decisions very closely. Thinking long-term, which Virgo does. Virgo, right? I mean, you guys are the landlord of the 6th house. The 6th house is about problems. You guys are the Hermit energy. What does the Hermit go on top of the mountain to do? Not just to think for the sake of it. It's about problem solving. Looking for spiritual illumination and answers. Going within for clarity and solutions, right? You guys are the problem solvers of the zodiac. That's what it is. That's why Virgos are such good workers, first of all, but also have this uncanny ability to see the larger perspective that other people, you may get accused of. Why are you thinking so far down the road? And you're like, well, because that equals that, and then that goes to that, and then that to that. So it's pretty simple. I see the dominoes happening all the way over here, right? You know what I'm saying? So Four of Coins definitely tells me that you're in that space and you're trying to think very clearly and in a way that best serves you. You are going to be moving on from something. Even though you're going to be very concerned about the security of something, you're going to be watching yourself. I do see you transitioning into another version maybe of what you're doing. It may not be something altogether, or it may be a completely different arm of your industry. It could be something completely different. And because you have the great conjunction happening in your 6th house, I just feel like not right away, not January. January is going to be a little bit of a trippy month because there's going to be energy is rising to the top, but there's still a lot of change happening underneath it. But things aren't going to start crystallizing until like the middle of February. It doesn't mean stuff's not happening, guys. Stuff is happening, but it's just happening underneath the surface. So definitely, like, I see this moving on from something that you're doing like now. So in the foundation, we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is somebody coming in and offering you something that really you feel speaks to you. Love it. So this could be a new job, a new opportunity, a new investment, a negotiation having to do with some sort of contract or project that you're working on, any sort of proposal. If you're looking to invest in real estate, you're getting the mortgage. It could be anything like that. We have this working with the polar bear, which is all about sustenance and you having everything that you need. So the thing is with the polar bear gives us almost like creature comforts that we would get from our mother, right? So what do we need, right, that our mother gives us? Roof over our head, clothes on our back, food in our belly, what we need in order to survive. So what I like about this is whatever is coming in is going to be very nurturing and very much give you what it is that you need. So, I like this from the perspective of, I feel like kind of like a wind beneath your wings kind of energy. That sound like channeling Bette Midler here, but it's kind of like that sort of thing, whatever opportunity is coming in. So I'm loving that you're the Temperance card right now in many ways, okay? Because first of all, this is a Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius is a very benefic energy. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is about luck and expansion. So I feel like you're in this space where you're very ready to expand, even if you're kind of scared, right? Because Temperance is about this idea where things need to be negotiated, things need to be, I would say equalized, but what's the word I'm thinking about? Compromise. Yeah, it's compromise. It's, what do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? Kind of thing. What does everybody need in this situation? So for example, if you're getting offered a new position, what do they expect from you to do, right, in your day-to-day? What do you expect from them? And what is the company, the overarching job, whatever, what does that really require? And everybody being on the same page. So, you know what I mean? Tempering. What does everybody need? There's a balancing, a harmony, a patience, a self-control, a moderation, everybody communicating, really nice. And the fact that it's Sagittarius energy tells me that everything is going to be handled and thought through with integrity, with a very clear mindset, with the intention of moving forward and growing. Some of you may be in a space where you're dealing with foreign something. So if it's not foreign land, foreign cultures, it's something to do with people from afar. So it could have to do with maybe distant learning, selling things to people from afar, dealing with something with travel. So it could certainly have something to do with that. Ooh, very beautiful. You're going to be very serendipitously guided. I love the owls, because the owls tell me that you're going to be getting a message in from someplace. It's going to come to you as an epiphany, and it's going to be exactly what you needed to experience in order to make some sort of decision or judgment call, for good, bad, or indifferent. Now, we do have in your environment, the external influence affecting you is the Chariot. The Chariot is action and change. So there's definitely movement away from something. So, oh, and you know what? Temperance energy being Sagittarius, I'm just thinking about lawsuits, because Sagittarius could also be lawsuits for many of you. The active lawsuit. Capricorn is the law, but Sagittarius would be the actual inciting of the lawsuit. right? If you make money from the lawsuit, that would be 8th house, right? So it's about actually contracts, lawsuits, the paperwork involved in that, right? It works opposite of Gemini, so something going on with that. I'm getting a message about that. And then we have the Chariot, right? The Chariot is a Cancer energy, which is all about that metaphorical home space, so doing something that feels right, leaving something that you may love it and you may be very good at it, but there's something about it that you just may not feel at home in anymore. So there's this need to incite change to go towards that space. That's what it's going to mean for some of you. For others of you, it could just mean moving on from some sort of situation and inciting some sort of lawsuit to as a way of just sort of putting something at rest, once and for all. Yeah, you're going to be very patient here in this energy. Well, not you, actually. This is an external influence. So there is this moving away. So we have the Chariot. Let me think about that for a second, because we have the Chariot and we have her focused on the past. Yeah, I just feel like you're going to be moving away, whether it's somebody pulling one out and something, maybe you're quitting a job or part of your job, or you're losing a part of your job, something like that. But somebody is because I don't feel like it's you. Somebody is looking back at the past as there's this moving away. Very interesting. So there's this moving away. It's being clarified by somebody recognizing the past. But she could also just represent your past in general. Like everything that you've done up to this point, your education, the different jobs, the different positions, whatever, everything in your past. There's a lot of thought going on here. It's very pensive, but at the same time, it's very patient, which I like. Now, we have in your fear and your hope position the Knight of Coins. Well, of course, goodness sake. I mean, you want to be a reliable person, patient and hardworking. You want to work with people like that. You want to do all of that. But at the same time, you may be afraid that you're not going to be able to deliver what's necessary. And then we have the other woman, which is Venus. Venus is all about focusing on the future. Right? It's about money, feeling good about what you're doing. You may be a little insecure about if you're going to really love what you're getting into and if it's going to be able to bring you the growth and the opportunity, the money, the feel good of whatever you might be transitioning out of. We have in the near future here, we have the Ace of Wands. Ace is brand new. Wands is a new project, inspiration. You have the urge to create something. So this can be creating a new name for yourself, maybe in a different way, taking on something new, creating something new for yourself, because it's an Ace, and Wands are will, motivation, and passion. And then we have, definitely creative, tapping into your inner child, what you wanted to do at one point, what you do for fun. Some of you may literally be going into business with your children. I mean, that's a literal interpretation of it. Now, this is only going to resonate with some of you. Forgive me for the interruption, but we have the children like this with the Ace of Wands, urge to create children. It's like, I want to have a baby. And then we have the Three of Swords here. What would that have to do with career, though? Like maybe you're making the decision to leave work or to work differently for your children, right? Having something to do with your children. Then we have in the final outcome energy, we have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is the card of conflict. It's not the end of the world. It's literally not. But it's Saturn in Libra. And Saturn is about restrictions, rules, needing to follow the law and all of that. In Libra, it's about things being fair and balanced. Feeling really good about what you're in. And getting the money, because Libra is ruled by Venus. Libra also rules, it's not only the marriage partnerships, it's also business partnerships. But even if it's just people that you're working with, it's like who you have a shared soul experience with. But there's going to be some sort of discomfort there that you're really not going to, but you're not going to be very happy in here, but you need to look at things a little more closely, right? Because the well does indicate that whatever you want, you can have. You're just going to have to work really hard, and you're going to have to look into things a lot more deeply. So let's see if we can, I'm kind of feeling like I'm almost getting it, you know, that I always say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. I mean, many of us say it, but I say it quite a lot because I feel like that's the whole idea behind astrology and tarot. So, okay, good communication that comes from online. And we have a Mars energy, which is a new path and a new perspective. Don't be afraid to look inside. Oh, wow, we got the star. Wow, Virgo. Oh, I just got the chills. Got the chills for you. Something's ending because it just was not part of your path. Now, this could be you ending it. It doesn't mean anybody's ending this on you, and it doesn't have to be oh so dramatic. It is still a minor arcana, but it's the lights coming on to something that became too challenging, and you realizing that it wasn't going to bring you ultimately what you wanted and make you feel good in it. But you have to really figure it out, and I feel like you're going to be in the energy of figuring what does it actually really mean. And a lot of you guys are going to be in this energy in January, I feel like. You know, with Saturn, because it's 6th house and Saturn's not going to be visible. He's going to be visible again in the middle of February. But you're getting good reviews. You're getting people are liking you here. This indicates like online, social media, any sort of connection via the internet, anything like that. You're getting accolades. You're getting favorable responses regarding whatever idea it is or whatever you're doing right now. But it's all about the Mars energy. Fresh path, new perspective, different approach. Take the bull by the horns. Be the leader in something. Exercise those ideas, right? Mars is the emperor. The emperor is all about ideas, ideas, ideas. But you have to unlock them. Don't let them stay inside of you, Virgo. What is it that you're not looking at? There's something creative inside of you that you need to pull the hell out. And you need to really put into motion. Because if you don't, guess what? That key is going to lock the cage. And that idea, that creative element that you've been nursing, that you haven't been talking to anybody about, it's going to end up staying locked up in the gilded cage inside of you for the rest of your days. And you're going to be very sorry about that, because whatever that idea is written in the stars that it's supposed to come out, and you're supposed to exercise that. This is the biggest cheerleading session I think I have had in a long time. Go, Virgo, go. Go, Virgo. Go, Virgo. Truly. What are you thinking about? Beautiful. Loving it. Loving it. Nothing I don't like about this. It's a little scary. But I feel like the challenge here is you getting in your own way. Because the energy's on your side here. There's no question. All right. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it means it's going to be fabulous. Okay. So let's go on to relationships. What's going on with Virgo in the area of relationships? Now, I'm not separating these out, guys, because then we'd be here all day. So I try to mix my readings up throughout the month. I know it bothers some of you. I'm sorry, but you know, I gotta do what I feel called to do. You know. So people don't like that I do relationships. They want me to do all career. The people want me to just do all general, and then I get complaints that, you know, and I have a hard time doing general. I'm very specific in my readings. So it's a very interesting energy. Other people want me to just do love. They're not interested in anything else. So I'm trying to make everybody happy. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. You guys arguing with somebody about getting married, getting engaged, buying a house, buying a business. Let's see. Okay, this looks good to me. This looks good. I like this. I love the Seven of Pentacles. Such a beautiful energy. All right, so let me just mix these up. We have Two of Swords coming into this, having to do with relationships. So Two of Swords is a Moon and Libra energy. Moon is I feel underneath the surface. Libra obviously has to do with relationship. Many of you know that. So Two of Swords, it's a time to compromise and make a decision. Either you or the energy that you're with. Like, it seems like whatever you're doing, if you're resonating with this, there's been like on the fence kind of energy having to do with either the relationship, or if your relationship is fine, something that you guys are looking to do, either have a baby, buy that house, buy that business, somebody going back to school, whatever it is, there's like you do this, that, right? You know, but it's time to compromise, make a decision. But you know, there's going to be a little bit of a conflict while we do that, right? However, I mean, I like the Four of Wands is going to be complementing the Five of Wands. So, you know, look, this could definitely be this conversation. This is rivalry and challenges and obstacles that absolutely just have to be worked through. It's a Saturn and Leo. This is a battle of the wills, and there are egos getting in the way. Who thinks what should look like what? If it has to do with a house, where are you going to live? How much you're going to spend? What style are you going to go for? Battle of the wills, battle of the wills. If you're going to have a baby, when are you going to do it? Oh my God, I don't know. Are we ready? Now, what is all that going to look like? Are we going to stay home? One of us going to stay home? What's all that going to look like, right? We're going to get married. What does that look like? Do we have the money? Do we just do a backyard that would, you know, anything like that? We're going to go on a honeymoon, you know, only because it is being complemented by the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is like a homecoming energy. It is an energy of like reunion celebrations, what we call it, like a marriage. You know, people get together to celebrate marriages or, you know, engagements. It's about though moving to the next level in something that incites safety and a firm foundation, because it's four. And four is like, yeah, we're in this nice and solid. But I see that there's like a battle of the wills that's going on here, having to do with this decision that needs to be made. It's like there can't be a decision made, and there has to be, regarding either everything that I mentioned. Oh, okay, you guys are fine. The sun, is it going to be okay, you know, regardless. So the sun is about material happiness and this a really beautiful outcome, and having everything that you need. You know, at the end of the day, you guys have everything that you need to work it out. You know, here I'm just being called to say like empathy, open ears. Everybody's ears need to be opened. Just because the lips are moving and the mouth is moving doesn't mean that it's being heard, right? You know, from the recipient. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles, really good. And we get the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I like these energies. This is about really figuring out what's necessary to make this situation work, right? What do you need to be happy? Figuring it out from the bottom up. Like what does communication need to look like? How much money do you guys need? Really openly communicating about what's necessary to make it happen. And I think this involves getting some sort of information in from the outside. So this could certainly be maybe finding out about an investment, finding out about a job opportunity, getting like a yes, no. This could be waiting for, did you get approved for a mortgage? Did the pregnancy results come back? You know, like a news coming in is going to be working with this Eight of Pentacles. Like as soon as the news comes in, then you're going to be like, okay, this is what we need to do. It's in the stars. So I do want to say that for some of you who are not in communication with anyone right now, perhaps I do feel like there is definitely another energy here though. So if this is a reconciliation kind of thing, what I see the best thing you are doing right now is you're trying to master your craft and enjoy your work until you hear from somebody. You may be hearing from somebody, Virgo, but I have to say that whoever you're hearing from or whatever news is coming in is very serendipitous to this situation. So if it's somebody that you were with and you haven't been with them, this tells me you're supposed to be with them. If this has to do with if you're in a relationship now, or maybe you're not and this has nothing to do with anybody from your past, You're in this space where you're needing to decide, okay, I don't want to be single anymore. Oh, but your Five of Wands is you're in a battle of the wills with yourself, trying to figure out what it is that you want and need in order to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure with that Four of Wands energy. So you could be focusing on your work, but then we got a letter coming in, somebody communicating with you. Whatever's coming in, though, is very serendipitous. It's as it's been written, as we say. As it's been written. Now we have the beautiful Queen of Cups as the foundation. Love it, love it, love it. Queen of Cups is Gemini and Cancer. Communication about what you need, want, and desire to feel safe and secure. A very nurturing energy, healing and supportive. If things have been a little weird or a little challenging for you, or even if they haven't been, it's just you know, this could be the general energetic influence. This could be you. This could be them. But there's a lot of nurturing and support here, which I very much like. Oh, get this working with the fox. Watch out. And the birds. Okay. So for those of you who are hearing from somebody online where you haven't been in connection with them for too long, be very careful of what they're saying to you. Because they may be, in the bird energy, indicates accolades being sent to you via social media, some sort of networking situation, right? A lot of accolades and flowers being thrown at your feet, right? But the fox is very duplicitous. It's saying one thing and feeling with doing another. It's kind of like a two-faced energy. So you really have to look at something very closely, right? When we have the book, it means you have to look at something more closely. Not that you're not, it's you have to look at information that you haven't been privy to. You really need to look at something. So is somebody saying that they are not single and maybe they are? Or is somebody saying that I'm definitely going to do A, B, and C, and you find out, oh my gosh, I think they're actually giving me some lip service and we're not actually going to do this thing that we've been talking about. So it's that kind of thing. Just keep on the lookout. That's all I'm saying, only because we do have that Mars in the 8th squaring the 5th house of romance for you. So there's going to be tension there. There's going to be tension. And the tension is going to be about how you guys are moving forward, because Mars is in Aries, and Aries is about a fresh path and a new perspective. Right now, you're confused. The Two of Pentacles. Two choices, weighing options. In love. So you may have, two options to you right now. The option could be stay single or get involved with somebody, two different people. You could be wholly so with somebody, but not very happy and thinking about somebody from your past. Interesting. We have the external influence affecting you. Your environment is the Three of Cups, which is about friendship, celebration, circles of support. Definitely feeling very supported right now. Very celebratory vibe. But it's almost like, let me just pull. Let me get the lady. Very focused on your future. Something needs to be cut out. I'm saying your future. It's an external energy to you, external influence. So you may be dealing with an energy who's like celebrating with friends and family, feeling very celebratory, very focused on the future. This is very interesting to me. Hold on a second, because for some of you, this is just for some of you, we have clarifying the Three of Cups energy, which is this, feeling very supported and celebrating, a celebratory vibe, hanging out, having some cocktails, maybe a dinner, just, even if it's just celebrating, right? External to you that's influencing you. We have a lady looking at the future. Then we got the skate, though. The skate has to cut out the lady. So is this somebody from somebody's past needs to be cut out? Because then we have the garden, and the garden is about social media and networking and meeting new people. But this is an external influence that's affecting you. This is your environment. So if you're dealing with an energy, they may be affected by this, and therefore it's affecting you. Or you may just be feeling this vibe where you just kind of want to be around your friends and family, this very celebratory vibe, cutting out who you once were, and really kind of grabbing onto something new. That's really what this is, because that Skaith, cutting out the lady, that could be cutting out an old version of yourself and opening yourself up to new options and new opportunities. And that's the energy that's surrounding you, that's affecting you. Or the person that you're dealing with may be going through this as well, where they're trying very much to just sort of transition away. I feel like it's very interesting. I'm getting a weird feeling here. So it's like somebody who wants very much to have something with you can't get out of their own way. You're confused, but I feel like you're the one who's like actually deciding. Oh my gosh, maybe because somebody has some sort of addiction, some sort of imbalance, they can't get out of their own way. They're not very faithful, or they have a hard time being truthful, even if it doesn't have to do with another person. This is the devil is addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, any sort of imbalance. They're just dishonest. It could be that. It could be anxiety and depression unchecked, untreated, anything like that. But that's in your fear position. Your fear. And this is external to you. So I feel like you're afraid to jump into something with 2 feet with somebody, 100%. Because you're afraid of their potential for imbalance, or the imbalance that you've already experienced with them. Or even for some of you, it could just be like red flag kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like your red flag and stuff that you see at play here. Because look, we have the near future. It's going to be the truth coming out. Truth comes out for some positive karma to be paid back to you. It's a win-win solution. Cause and effect. Somebody does something, and there's a reaction and an effect that's gone on. Justice is a Libra energy. Libra is the 7th house of partnerships. Anchor. Beautiful. I mean, I like it. The anchor is strong. It's grounded. It's justice. It's what's right. Everything's going to be focused around what feels right to you. And that's not going to include this devil energy. If you're afraid of the devil energy, if you're afraid of the imbalance, you know, your fear is being shackled in something where there's a lot of imbalance. And I understand that that's probably where your confusion is. Because I don't feel like you fully trust this energy. Something about them. And then we have the key, clarifying the 7 of Pentacles energy. Look at that. 7 of Pentacles is a great energy in that it's patient. It's willing to put the work in. It understands that it's not going to be fixed overnight, or it's not going to be built overnight. But there's this waiting, delayed success. Focusing on other things right now, but focusing nonetheless on trying to create your life, right? It really is where the 4 of the world and the 3 of the Trinity meet. In the metal, we say that the 7 of Pentacles is where heaven and earth meet, and it opens up this new page, and we have the key. But it's all about being super honest about what's necessary here. Because the key is like, are you going to open up the love and let it out, and the gift and all of that means? You can only do that through honesty. Or are you going to keep yourself closed up? You have everything that you need right now to be successful in love. I love it that we got the moon for you. This is beautiful. The moon rules our emotions. It's our soul. And you're very much honoring your soul. And then we have the stork, which is a new life. You're going to be realizing you guys have everything that you need to start this new life. So I definitely feel like there's going to be this kind of, I almost want to say like a meeting of the mind, sort of. Yeah. Yeah. I see this discussion of vulnerabilities, who's afraid of what, and then there being these really beautiful proposals having to do with the relationship, and you guys taking the chance, understanding that you're in a turning point right now and you just want to take the gamble and do this. But that devil energy needs to be discussed. If there's something you're not trusting with this person, it definitely needs to be discussed. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you for this week. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.